Hello, my name is Don Allen, and I'm the host of The Last Question. This is a radio show. Well, it was a radio show. Now it's like broadcasted on Facebook and Twitter simultaneously right now while we're on. And I just decided to do this because I felt that people weren't really tuning into the radio part of The Last Question, which was on Anchor. So it's neither here nor there, but I'm a little troubled today. And you don't have to agree with me. That's cool. I'm okay with that today. But I watched a press conference about education and with the governor and several women and the lieutenant governor of Minnesota today. And I was, to say the least, I was troubled by the content. I was troubled by the words that came out of the mouths of some of the people there. We understand that Minnesota has the largest achievement gap between white and black kids in the United States. We're aware of that. That's not news. We see it every day. You know, when you pick up the newspaper or go online and look at one of the local newspapers here in the Twin Cities, and you've seen that an 11 and 12-year-old has stolen a car, crashed it, and has been arrested. And you wonder, like, where is society? Where are the people that we need in place to help us, assist us, challenge us to make a change in our behavior, a change in what we do as Black Minnesotans? And I am going to talk about the press conference with the mayor because it really, I mean, I'm a teacher in a school district here, and my comments don't have anything to do with my job. If you can look at it like that, I'd appreciate that. But I'm troubled by this jump into and placing the burden on Black kids and minority kids in Minnesota that we need to spend a lot of money to make sure that our Black kids are educated, to make sure our Black kids graduate from high school, to make sure our Black kids go to college. And this is the stuff that people don't want to hear. A lot of Black people aren't even interested in this. And it shocks me that, and I'm a military man, so I have to respect the position of governor of the state of Minnesota. I really do. And I'm going to do that. But I'm looking at the actions, the political implications, the outcomes, what could happen, what might not happen, and the historical context of where we are now. We've been there for probably 20 years, just static. I would ask the governor that if he does a press conference, if he creates a equity, inclusion, diversion, whatever at the MDE, that he would make sure that the right people were connected, to make sure that the right voices are at the table. Because if you saw what I saw, and I'm not taking anything away from these 12th grade girls from the suburbs, 2 white females, they were doing what they need to do. It was their time. Everybody, yellow, red, black, and white, deserves a time to pop. They deserve a time. Those 2 12th grade white women that the governor had, it was their time. So I can't take that away from them. I'm giving it to them. Congratulations, y'all. It's not, you are not the problem. But the problem was that there wasn't even a Black female to represent Black men and women in education at this press conference. Other than Alan Page, who we know respectfully is pushing the Page Amendment, there wasn't another Black educator in the room. Yet the little girl who went second said, and I'm paraphrasing here, she says, I want to make sure that everyone gets what they need and becomes a productive member of society. Boom. Let that resonate for a minute. You know, we just got orders of how things will be. We just got orders of who was going to lead us. We just got orders of this is how education has been, and we're going to change it right now. Why now? Let me explain that to you. My co-host, Jonathan Mason from Mason Live, talks about it every Saturday, and it has a lot to do with the George Floyd trial. I shouldn't be frozen now. I was standing still. Thank you, Angela, for that. And they are nervous, and they've been taking advice from people that they probably shouldn't be taking advice from, people that are not even connected or have any representation in the Black community, to avert mass destruction if one of the police officers walk, if two of the police officers walk, if three of the police officers walk from the George Floyd killing, if all four walk. They do not want the repercussions. And I understand that too. Trust me, I get that. I'm not anti anything. In spite, you know, I might be that, but then I might not. And I'm just thinking here to myself, because they want to replace all this stuff. So just in case, and it's going to come really fast, and you're going to have to be prepared. They're going to put out so much money in the Black community. They've done this before. That's going to be ridiculous. They're going to have a lot of wealth spreading for it, but it's a short time, and it's to avert a disaster. And so you have to be on your A game. Yeah, education is terrible. We need to fix education, but why not have the uncomfortable conversation and tell us why you are worried? Tell us you do not want our communities to riot in the streets, no matter what, after the George Floyd decisions that will be made this summer. You know, come to us with an honest agenda about what you want us to do. There are many forward-thinking people in the Black community that are Black, actually. There are rocket scientists, medical scientists, educators, bankers, accountants, business owners, entrepreneurs that have the experience and understand processes. And you want to call those people. You want to talk to those people. I mean, look at everywhere. If we really want to fix stuff, let's look at MnDOT, the Minnesota Department of Transportation. About last 20, 22 years, haven't been compliant in contracts with, get this, disadvantaged minority enterprises, as they want us to call it. And with that said, why hasn't that been addressed? You know, why is it that we don't have the middle class Black men, Black businesses? I'm not saying give them no handouts. I'm saying let them form businesses. Let them get bonded. There's a process. You have to be bonded to work on Minnesota's roads, streets, and bridges. You have to have the experience. Even those little cones, the little orange cones they put in the street, all down the street when they're doing construction, there's classes you have to take to know how to do that, to make sure that car slows down in plenty enough time before it gets to that construction crew. It's a safety thing. But we don't have those type of businesses. We're not interested in putting orange cones on the street in front of a construction area because that's beneath us. I think the guy that has a big one here in town, I can't remember his name. It'll come to me 2 days from now when I'm on the toilet. But I mean, he's a millionaire. I don't see anything wrong with it. And I'm not talking bad about Black people. Stop saying that. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that there are opportunities that have been shut off by the state, by Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development by grant processes that are not, well, they're separate and unequal. We'll put it like that. And where's our legislative agendas? You know, I mean, I'm just a teacher. I have a legislative agenda. And it's, people have read it in the Senate, in the House, you know, and it's not just mine. I joined with some like-minded brothers out there and sisters that said, let's do this. Why are we going to wait for the Council on Black Minnesotans, which is now the Minnesota Council for Minnesotans of African Heritage? Why are we going to wait for someone else to think of a project, you know? And you have to get to some consensus. You have to decide that we need to move ahead and we need to do better. And I'm looking at this press conference today. And I'm like, why aren't there Black educators or Black kids up there? I know 100 Black 12th grade girls that could go up there and spit it like it was a spoken word contest and let people know what they wanted, where they were coming from. But we didn't have that. We had a watered down something, and it's very deep, that there hasn't been a huge outcry from the Urban League, the NAACP, Black Lives Matter, and other organizations that represent or say they represent Black people. And this needs to be addressed. And I don't think he meant bad. I don't think the governor meant bad, but I think he's getting bad advice. Someone gave him some bad advice and he ran with it. And he says, we're going to get some girls as far out from the urban area as possible and let them talk about, you know, the minority kids. And we're going to get a couple ladies in here to talk about, you know, how bad the Black kids are in education wise, and that we have to have equity now and it can't go any further past this day, period. But I'm still hungry. I'm like, where's that Black female? You know, where's that person that's going to fire us up to say that this is real, this is tangible, there are outcomes involved? Where is that person? And the person wasn't there. And if you watch this, you know I'm telling you the absolute truth, period. Merch. I'm telling you, this is what happened on a press conference in Minnesota, because it's a knee-jerk reaction for something else. And this is not a conspiracy theory, trust me. I got peepers in a lot of places. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do next? I know it's dinner time and I better let you guys get back to dinner, but I just had to get that out there, because, you know, it's like I smell rat too. You know, I smell something that's not right. It's just not, it's a weird situation to be in. And it was a weird conversation to even watch because of the psychological impact that it has on many people. If you ever read a story in one of these newspapers and you read the comments, especially when the story is about Black people or reparations or got to form a reparation committee, read the comments below. Sometimes you need a subscription to these papers, but I get the subscription. It's very cheap. But man, you know, there's some really hot people, upset people. Like, why should we give Black people reparations? Well, my father was a slave, an Irish person who was a slave or indentured servant. He should get reparations too. And they don't understand that's not what we're talking about. That's not even the conversation, okay? But the level of malfeasance and the lack of understanding combined, it's a dangerous mix. So I'm not going to keep you that long, but I just felt that I needed to get on here, put my show logo up there because I didn't have it up there. Sorry about that. And just talk about this, because if you saw what I saw on this press conference, you'd have a lot of questions too of how that even happens. in a state like this, and why everybody is so quiet. The usual suspects in our community, the Black community, they're very quiet. So are they expecting something? What are they expecting? How come we still have the same construct we had in 2005, in 1999? We have a few people giving bad advice, and we're going to have bad circumstances. And we've done that for the last 60 years. If you protest, something happens, protest, someone gets some money, something happens again, protest, someone gets some money, it calmed down. And it's a cycle that just needs to stop, because the money that you're getting is not really worth a whole lot. I mean, it's good for you and your family. Thank you, Jesus. I'm glad that you get some cash. But why? There's more money out there than the little pennies they're giving you to try to control the masses. So think about it. Watch that press conference and tell me if you saw the same thing that I did. And I'm still really troubled behind that, because I'm an educator and I go through hell. H-E-double-L hockey stick, something like that, however it goes. And that didn't have a good look for me. I don't know what the repercussions are going to be to me because of this statement from the governor, this press conference. Because the words equity, diversity, inclusion, I'm going to get some drive-bys, some funky attitudes. And every Black teacher knows exactly what I'm talking about right now. I don't care where you work. Well, yes, I do. In Minnesota. Ooh, I set that one up. So how are we going to fix this? Who's game to help fix it? Why did this even happen this way? And where are the people talking to the governor? Where are the people talking to the governor? Who are they? I mean, why is he so hung up on the Page Amendment? Which I said, I read it. I'm working on I have to work full time. So the only time I have to do it is like after I get my kids in bed, but I'm putting it together because it's going to be very interesting and you're going to learn a lot from it. So with that said, hey, thanks for listening. It's 6:00. I only planned on to be here for 15 minutes, and everyone who tuned in, make sure you share it. And if you have any money, put it in the bank or hide it in your house in your strong box. Okay, stop spending. We don't keep no money in our hood. Just be frugal. I'm Don Allen. This is the last question. It's a weekly show. And I guess my last question before I go is, what are we going to do next? We're just going to let this go, right?